there. So here it is, Thursday, and we're back at Bitter Lake National Wildlife Refuge. I'm right here at the skiing building that's at the gate to the refuge, and it's so beautiful here. I just couldn't resist coming back again and again and again. So, Kurt Vonnegut. I read to you from his wonderful book, God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater, yesterday. Vonnegut is one of the few writers where I really have read every book. And in a way, it makes sense. Usually I'm the fan of the book, not the writer so much. It's not the person so much as the art that interests me. But it turns out that Vonnegut, especially in his novels, they were all really woven together. So it makes sense that I would read all of them in order to get the complete tapestry of the thing he was building. And I could have chosen from a number of books of his that I absolutely loved. Mother Night's wonderful. It's a very early book. Slaughterhouse 5 would have been a fine choice. It's probably his most well-known. Breakfast of Champions is probably his most perverse. Or I could have chosen from one of the short stories he wrote. He has a collection called Welcome to the Monkey House, which I think is astonishingly brilliant story writing. And in that collection is a story called DP that would break your heart. The reason I chose God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater is, even though it was written in 1965, that's not when I read it, by the way, but even though it was written in 1965, it could almost have come out of a book right now. So much discussion is being done about the differentiation between the wealthy and the poor in this country. And here it is with Kurt Vonnegut and Elliot Rosewater both anticipating the disastrous effects of that in his God Bless You, Mr. Rosewater. I won't tell you how it ends, but I want to make a little writing assignment for you based on his work. And I'm not going to try to tell you to write like him. Vonnegut did have a gift in the sense that what he wrote was uniquely his. Nobody else could write like that. His voice was so thoroughly genuine, so much an extension of him, that it'd be impossible just to write like him. You could use his structures for sure, but what I want to suggest is something slightly different. I want you, if you can, to think about writing in any form you want about something you love that you think may be destroyed. That's what the passage was about, was something that Vonnegut loved, that he felt very attached to, that he had given much to, and yet he also felt was doomed. And so not everybody can do this. Some people cannot write like that. Some people cannot write in an honest way about things like that because it's too depressing. And Vonnegut certainly was willing to strip down to his very cynical self. But I have to tell you, that doesn't mean that he didn't have uplifting messages in his stories. He did, a lot of them. And he had great wisdom in them too. For example, in Mother Night, one of the things he says is, we become who we pretend to be. And it is for that reason that we must be very careful about who we pretend to be. And I just was blown away. That he's talking about a guy who was a spy for the Americans but posed as a Nazi in Germany and was in the propaganda system. And it changed him. Of course, it changed him. And so I think that's another thing that I see in his writing, is this very wise insight about our character, about how we are influenced without necessarily even being aware that we're being influenced. So, story, poem, memoir, essay, something you love that you think may be destroyed. I hope you see me again soon, you gorgeous people.